Hello everyone, and welcome to the Team PH World Cup Candidate Summit. I'm your host and your coach candidate, Dax, showing up here with our community leads and, of course, my co host, Mr. Fascinate himself. So, Mr. Fascinate, are you excited to get our discussions rolling for the day?
Yes, sir, indeed.
Um,
This has been it's a quite a hard decision to make, especially for the general manager position, because these are at least for me, these are names that I'm not familiar with because like I only know like limited number of people, mostly in Overrush what do you call this? When it's basta dito sa Philippines
yeah, we can.
scene, whatever.
Yeah, speak Filipino, can speak English. We do a little bit of
Oo
mix
nga
of
naman, oo
both.
nga naman.
Alam mo guys,
Ba't di ako nagtatagalog?
we're
Oh,
gonna
Philippine
give
audience
this
naman.
to the Philippine audience. Para sa bayan
Yes,
to, para sa masa.
correct.
Hindi para sa masa. We're different. But yeah, so the thing about this time, we are gonna be interviewing both our community leads as well as our general manager candidates for the duration of the summit. It's gonna be lasting from until like 8:30, that kind of deal. And as soon as it is over, we are gonna go straight into our pugs. But first things first, let's introduce our community leads. Here from left to right, the order they're gonna be talking. First and foremost, let's give a warm welcome to the Hitscan goddess herself, Yubi.
Oh my god, that introduction. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Yumi. So, yeah, I've been playing Overwatch since 2017 and I just love this game and I love the community. So, yeah, do I say my platform already
Yeah.
or
Feel free to do
okay.
your intro.
All right. So, I'm going to start. My number one is live updates. So, this is to engage with the audience in the local community. People nowadays are so attached to social media, and when they want to know something, they'll surely wait for updates. Live updates come in different forms, like live videos, behind the scene photos, videos, of course, game stats, and the like. So we don't expect Blizzard to give the Filipinos an update about every little thing. So that's why I'm gonna fill up that role for them. The
Oh.
next platform is marketing and community management. So as you all know, or para sa iba na hindi pa alam, I actually graduated from University of Santo Tomas with a degree in Fine Arts major in advertising. So I am proficient in different editing softwares. Rest assured that I will be able to create graphics for a team. Aside from that, I've been working in marketing since 2017 sa esports at sa gaming. So I've handled games like League of Legends and Arena of Valor, working as a marketing executive and community manager. So I've also handled streamers with 100,000 followings. So marketing and community management comes natural to me. And different kinds of communities, yun, nahawakan ko na siya. So, and also, I myself stream. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty much an all-rounder. I can stream, I can do graphics, marketing, advertising, community management. I talk to people, I can play with them. I know the game and I love it and I'm ready to revive it. So yeah, thank you.
And
Impressive.
also pretty poggers
Impressive
resume right there.
platform from
Thank you, thank you.
Miss Yumi. What's a degree, guys? What's
Uh,
that? Actually putting a degree to good work in community leading, community management. So you guys can see that Yumi really has this esports background. I've known her for quite a while already. Met her through, of course, some good friends in the community with some, professional play, that kind of deal. I've seen her grow and move around from Garena, from her amazing AOV days, that's for sure. Now she works for, can you just say about that? Is that okay? Is that public knowledge?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay,
so
it's
it's like
okay.
pretty much with the brand family right now. So you can
Yeah.
really see that she has been connecting not only in the public scene, but also in the professional aspect. At the same time, of course, she has her own little community as well within Overrush, within the Overwatch community, and she has never really faltered in her love for Overwatch. It has been, you could say, a couple thing for Mr. Fascinate and Miss Yumi. If you guys didn't know about that detail already, so it really goes to show very very competitive, and honestly a good candidate for community lead. So Miss Yumi, you got anything else to say about your platform?
Well, wala naman, but yeah, I hope you consider me, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, that's what you think about Yumi fascinates. You know, I mean, besides all the personal bias.
I mean, eh, kahit anong sabihin ko, it's almost always going to say it's almost always going to be biased. Kasi especially if you know both of us. Pero ano, yeah, it's pretty impressive. Especially it's a plus that she's working or she has experience both in the stage and in the background setting of esports. Even though if it's not Overwatch related, at least my experience on, and she can put that experience to good use.
Well said, well said. Lots of experience, lots of being in the community. But let's move on to our next candidates, all parts of the Overrush community. She's been honestly more of a world traveler over Athena, over that computer in the Overwatch ship. I think she's been to so many places. She's been to so many events related to Overwatch as well. I know she went to Thailand for the the Thai Cup back then, where World Cup had
Ah,
these
really?
regionals,
Oh,
regionals, regionals. So
that's
let's
good.
give a warm welcome now to Miss Mimi Moo herself.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
Mimi.
hello,
Yeah,
hello.
feel free to introduce yourself and, of course, hit us up with what your platform is.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Mimi Moo. I'm not as active in Overrush PH as most of people, so most of the people don't know me, but I do have a background in esports. Specifically, I was the founder and served as vice president in multiple terms of UP Gaming Guild. So I've been working for that org since I was a freshman sa college, so that was like 6 years ago pa. So I, having been through all of that experience, I'm knowledgeable about building an organization and understanding the framework required for establishing a community outside of it, and then syempre it's management, and then more of that I learned digital marketing, social media, and events management. Um, Since wala masyadong events sa Overwatch in the Philippines na mainstream, I'm more familiar sa yung mga events na ginawa namin and tournaments for LoL and Dota mostly. But I'm hoping na this will be the step nga na required to push the Overwatch to the mainstream, to the normal people. Okay. Normal
Yeah.
people talaga.
To the general public, you could say. But
Yes,
yeah,
general public.
I would say I've had my experiences with Mimi as well. She's always been a lover of Overwatch. Back in the day when she was trying to fix something up for the Overwatch team through UPGG, we would meet a lot. Unfortunately, the college community is not really finding that to be the game of choice. But you could really see the effort. You could really see the passion. I would hear from some friends from UPGG that she really was one of the key people pushing for Overwatch, really loving Overwatch. You can really see that the passion is within her. So Mimi, real quick question for you: what can you say if you're gonna be the community lead? What is gonna be how are you gonna work on it? Without getting too specifics, we'll work on that later. What is your
Right.
plan of action?
Okay, so since the format is very different from this year, I mean, compared to last year, na we don't have an assured spot, and it's all gonna be localized from the very start. I want to promote pub stomps or whatever equivalent we can have from it, because we need to have the LAN for the preliminaries. So as much as possible, I want to get more people to watch live. I don't know how to figure
Okay,
out logistics, but we'll figure it out along the way.
okay, that
And
sounds cool.
Sorry, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Huh? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Fascinate.
I was interested when you said pub stumps. Is that correct? Did I hear it right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean pala by pub stumps? Sorry, sorry.
Like usually kasi sa Dota for the international tournament, you have local viewing parties, so you call that pub.
Ah, so local viewing lang. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Iba yung
It's like a
iniisip
watch
ko for
party.
pub something. Okay,
It's
okay,
like
okay,
a
okay.
watch party. But yeah, I want to cut off Mimi there because we're gonna be tackling that later on, so that you can really see that she has a very physical approach into this, really going with her grassroots community with all what do you call this? Impetus, Imperious, whatever. I think it's Impetus. The what UPGG did, right, Mimi?
Yeah.
Yeah, something. So they're
Mm,
really focusing on the land aspect. So
okay.
again, quick shout outs, guys, to Mimi Moo. We'll get back to her later on when we move on to our questions. But now let's introduce our third and final community lead candidate, the man himself behind the camera, the guy who plays all the music in the Discord, an old time staff member from Overrush PH, and honestly, guys, my first ever casting partner, Mr. Shop
Ooh.
Rizal.
Yeah, I've been in the scene for too long na.
Okay,
So
so
yeah, my name is Jason. You can call me by the name Shaq Rizal or Rizal, for easy to remember. I've been in PH since November, around November 2016. It's like, well, way before is like the original cast, the original members from Overrush. I got invited by Maleli to the scene, or to the Overwatch scene, all in all, and to the all the group who is involved. To make, well, I think we're basically the originals in the in the Overwatch PH roster. And yeah, I currently doing PR and promotions. Well, kind of chill at the moment for our group right now. Mostly doing representation on community and coordination with other members, and also the other partners from Overrush PH, including our former sponsors. And well, before, I also involved in Heroes Uprising. We are handling mostly on the land side, on the event, on production, and also on the manpower on the event. I also doing commentating, mostly photo documentation, and yeah, coordination for the other members of the team. Outside Overwatch, I'm also a community coordinator for Smash Bros. Philippines, since 2015 pa. Yeah, very small scene, but it's slowly growing in numbers. Uh, Most likely also because of the new game, Smash Bros. Ultimate. We're still gathering members for our events, and for our who are interested to join the game. And yeah, we get outsiders involved once in a while.
yeah, so
Yeah, that is all.
Mr. Shock
Bringing old
Rizal
name eh, no? Bringing
being uh,
old names sa Overrush
dude, dude,
na
dude,
hindi na real active.
dude,
Pero
dude,
that
dude.
that uh,
Let me say this legacy member, guys.
yeah. Yes,
Shock
very
Rizal,
legacy.
Larry Legacy, back in the day, of course, doing some bunch
Yeah.
of community management. But at the same time, it's been a while, Shock. The thing about Yumi and Mimi is they're mostly recent. They've been
Mm.
very, very active in different aspects, Yumi with community, Mimi with trying to build foundations and traveling. But how about you, Mr. Shock? It's been a while. Besides, of course, being the resident DJ of Overrush, making the music keep on flowing through the bots. How can you connect with
Yeah.
community at this point in time?
Well, this I think this is the project's platform side, right?
Yeah.
First, I will be doing documentations. It could be photo, it could be through transcripts. Also, it could be on, well, documentations themselves, to see how how where we stand at the moment in the scene, how we can build the foundation on the community. Well, the community is already built on its foundation. We will see where we can do, what the community can see at the moment, where we can baseline at the moment, because there are many changes in the Overwatch scene at most recently. Season 2 of the Overwatch League just ended. So so making this transition a little bit smooth for everyone, we need documentations so we know where we stand at the moment. And the
Okay.
second is community involvement. We're gonna see who join. Well, after this, we're gonna see who are gonna be the participants who are gonna be joining for the World Cup. So looking for players, gathering info,
Yeah.
background checks, and
Yeah. I
most
think.
likely you're gonna be doing tournaments at from time to time. We're gonna be doing our own scouting, our own research on who are definitely gonna be joining our Overwatch World Cup team.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
And yeah,
That sounds good, Mr. Shock. I'll cut you off a little there. Just like Mimi, I don't want you guys to move into the specifics as of yet. We're just trying to make a baseline foundation for your platforms. You can see the directions that all of these three candidates are going for. So, quick little summary of that. So, Mimi, more about community, more about using her pedigree. Mimi, all about making those foundations, making them really land centric. And Mr. Shock, all about that documentation, all about that presentation and bringing back the old school. So really, guys, three distinct campaigns, and I love how these three candidates were able to answer that in their own unique ways. Mr. Fascinates, what do you think about our campaigns, our candidates rather's platforms?
It's really a good amount of options between the three candidates, especially they have three different backgrounds, diba? It's you can choose whatever you like most, but probably later because para uh, mas ma uh, masabi pa nila yung platforms nila ng ano more with more depth. And shout outs also kay ano, we actually have a contenders player in our chat.
Oh no! Already
Speaking
dropping,
speaking
already
speaking
dropping the
of
knowledge.
speaking of potential players by Shock Rizal, meron na sa stream.
Oh,
Is he going to be one of the potential players of
I
Overwatch or
will not
World Cup?
say anything. I will not disclose anything yet, guys.
Yes, I'm not
Okay.
saying I'm not dropping any names ha,
No,
pero
no,
may
just a quick little heads up. We're gonna do
yeah.
if under coaching platform that kind of deal. There are a bunch of questions for me too. But yeah, we're gonna have fair and open tryouts. We're gonna figure out what the criteria for that is. Even if there's a contenders player already there,
Mhm.
we can't guarantee anything
Yes.
because we wanna allow everyone the opportunity
Yes.
for this. But yeah, I don't want. I will talk about that later on. So guys, we have heard the platforms, our community leaders leading the community in the discussion. You can really see in the chat everyone having distinct, you know, ideas and views on this. So I'll be moving on to the next part of our what is this podcast summit, whatever. I don't know. Is this a
Whatever
podcast?
you
It's
wanna
like
call this.
it has turned.
It most likely, yeah, it turned into
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not my thing though. Not my thing, but
Yeah.
we'll go at it anyway. So guys, me and Mr. Fascinate over here, go to the left pala. We have made a number of questions for our candidates to work on before the stream, something they can prepare for, and they have crafted some answers for you guys to hear about. These questions are honestly questions that you probably would have the same. I saw similar questions on the submissions from the G form. So yeah, we'll get into our first one, and this might be pretty generic, but at the same time very very obvious. Let's just hide the question real quick. Mr. Fascinate though, what have you done for the PH of Watch community, Mr. Fascinate?
I'm not really the type of guy or player to
No. You can no. You can stop there. You just said something. You're a player. So what you've done
okay.
for the
Okay.
community
But being
is
a player,
you have
if
been
you're
the
talking about
player.
being player, then that's probably what I've contributed in for Overwatch Philippines.
Yeah.
Kasi as a player, I've represented Philippines in the first Overwatch World Cup season 1 like way back in 2017.
Despite my
That's one
co-host.
of my listen ito Mr. Coach. I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting up myself there. Uh that's gonna be one of my gonna be one of the things I'll list in my resume. Pero yeah, sorry. Pero
Mr. Fastlane making it
going
about
off track
himself.
na, going
Yeah.
off track. Pero yeah,
Well,
uh, we've under Miraculum, we've represented Philippines sa Red Bull. If
Red
you
Bull
remember that?
Coliseum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Red
dude, I
Bull.
remember that. That
Yeah,
was
2017,
that was,
2018, I forgot.
as I like to call it, the paid vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah. Besides that, of course, Mr. Fascinate, this isn't about you, okay? I was using your accomplishments as a segue to the question, but you're like, no,
Ganun
I
ba?
am a great
No,
player,
dude.
guys. You
Yes,
guys should
yes,
put me in the World
yes,
Cup roster. But yeah,
yes. I'm
quick
putting up
TLDR.
myself there
Yeah,
na.
quick
TLDR, I'm a
TLDR.
player.
Miraculum MMK won some tournaments, World Cup. What a player! Give him a
Yes,
big
what a player.
clap. There you go. So
Woo.
that is the question to our community leads. What have they done for the PH Overwatch community? We'll start things off with Yumi. Again, left to right. Gonna be our order. So, Miss Yumi, what have you done for the PH Overwatch community? Yeah, go for it.
Hello, okay. So, yun nga, I've been playing since 2017. And I've met a lot of people with different backgrounds. So basically, parang nag-gather ko sila into a community. So parang started from Waminagi. You guys know Waminagi, the kids. And
Yes,
then,
we do.
yeah. And
Give
then,
a ano na lang kung kasi not all knows Waminagi.
yeah.
Give a just like a
Waminagi,
short.
so parang, you know guys na there's always, before, lagi mayroong mga community tournaments. And then I just gathered some players and then turns out they're all kids. So, yeah. And so parang na-meet ko sila and yeah, the youth squad. And then aside from that, yeah, na-meet ko yung MMK, sila Fascinate, and then Overrush. So, yeah, I'm also a staff of Overrush. Everyone knows I love Overrush. I always do my best to be active in Overrush and in other Overwatch PH community. So, yun nga, that explains my countless Overwatch Facebook group posts. Like, almost every day, I always post. I try to engage with the community. And then, yun nga, as I mentioned, yung Waminagi. I think I'm pretty influential sa kabataan. Because people usually tease me that I have a daycare, which is crazy. But I'm actually proud of it. Kasi, parang, alam naman natin na the younger generation, they have a bad image na they can be immature or they can be toxic. But, yeah, I think the kids that I've played with, they improved a lot. So I have one example. So this kid from Cebu, he he, he always plays sa pogs, sa scrims, and he is super toxic, like really toxic. And then when I invited him to my group, to my Discord, he suddenly changed. Like he is the kindest kid I know na. Like pinagtatanggol niya ako pag merong sa other chat na, "Hi Yumi, marry me." And then he'll be like, "Oh, that's my ate Yumi." So it's just funny na I guess the kids are now transforming and I think I'm pretty influential with the youth.
Okay.
And then I also love joining local community tournaments and schemes. So you guys know na I always join tournaments. Kahit 1v1, 2v2, 3v3s. Yeah, I love supporting local Overwatch events and meetups. It just makes me so happy to see the community together. That's why I do my best to promote these kinds of events and activities. Like, I always post sa page ko, sa own page, about these meetups. And then, lastly, I always stream Overwatch. Like, I know some of my viewers are already like complaining na to not play Overwatch kasi they can't relate. Like, they can't really relate. They want me to play League, they want me to play AOV, ML, but I always play Overwatch. So, yeah, I play other games, but I know everybody knows that my main game is Overwatch. And yun nga, I just encourage my viewers to try it when it's free and hopefully purchase it. So I just love showcasing how awesome Overwatch is.
Ah,
So yeah.
love it. So Yumi bringing in the community. I think I last saw her make her post about the guy who played Symmetra, play versus Ayahe. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
why?
Symmetra.
Why would he do
I
this?
know.
Ah,
And
okay,
then
that's
and then
close.
and then swoops in like, oh, by the way, guys, casually, you can totally vote for me. You can totally vote for me. Come on, come on.
May, may smooth edit dun sa post eh, no?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Vote for me.
memes turning into votes. I guess I don't want to talk about politics,
Wow,
but yeah,
what a community leader right there.
Right.
Showcasing how good her ano eh, no?
Mr.
How good
Fascinates,
her
the
campaign
bias
is.
is leaking, Mr.
Oh, the
Fascinates.
bias is leaking
We're
ba?
trying to
Sorry,
be
sorry.
a fair environment here, but yeah,
I'll cut myself off here. I'll cut
quick,
myself off.
yeah, quick little summary. Community between Yumi, what she's done besides being her own content creator, has made a proper community for the youth. Has always been integrated with the Overrush PH community. So yeah, kudos to her. Now let's move on to the next one, Mimi. What you gotta say about the question? What have you done for the PH Overwatch community? Hello, Mimi.
Hello?
Mimi, I
Mimi?
miss you. Mimi, there you go. Hello.
Nag-speaking pero walang...
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Oh no. Mimi's
oh,
having a
Hello.
her
few.
voice is so weak, I think.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
having technical
Oh,
I
difficulties.
think she got
So,
oh
sombrered.
shit.
Yeah, she got sombrered, bro. That's
Uh,
EMP right there.
oof.
So
Yep.
yep,
Okay,
we'll go
never
for
mind.
a quick little recon, man. Okay, Mimi, you okay?
hello.
Okay. Hello,
Yep,
Lolo?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, yep.
yep.
Okay. Um, so, yun nga, personally, I don't have the biggest presence sa Overwatch PH community. It's because since 2016, I was far more active in international communities. Parang late ko lang nalaman na may Overrush PH and I was like, oh, may ganito pala. So, so before that, I was actually trying to look for people in those communities. I was like, meron bang taga Pilipinas dito? But it's been cool anyway, like getting to talk to pros and getting to know them personally. So I hope I can bring that into the PH community one of these days. So personally, I've joined two Overrush tournaments. Parang isa na DC kami, and then the other one I got third place. I don't really get to play as regularly because nakikigamit lang ako ng PC, lol.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that
But
at
yeah, I
all.
play pretty regularly naman. Tapos, um, the my biggest dream contribution talaga, as Dax put earlier, was I wanted to start up the collegiate scene for Overwatch. Yun talaga.
Mm.
Yun nga, 'cause my familiarity is with grassroots projects. So I really wanted to start building a community that way. When our organization funds prioritize bigger events that come in from bigger sponsors. So yun nga talaga. My hope is that this event, having our own Overwatch World Cup team will put the game in the spotlight and give us the right push to go to the mainstream games and compete with bigger games in the scene like Dota or LoL or even CSGO. Why pa ba yung CSGO dito?
Kind of.
Sucks lang.
Kind of. Yeah.
Like our six level, that
Yeah.
kind of deal,
Uh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
disappointing.
yeah.
So, personally, yun nga, I'm more disconnected, but I feel like my own contribution is through representation sa other international communities. So I hope I've been giving Filipinos a good name.
Yeah, I think you would. I
Yeah, it's
think you
not
would,
your
man.
fault. Oh, it's not your fault naman na hindi late mo na nakita yung Overrush. It's
Yeah.
not like the only community. I feel like meron pa naman dyan, like albeit smaller kasi Overrush isn't like not that
It,
big
it
rin naman eh.
it's the
Kasi
biggest, but not
yeah,
the
not the
monopoly.
only. Yeah, definitely. And speaking of ano pala, speaking of your, 'di ba, you said na you want to push for like yung LCL type or yung collegiate type. Um, I remember kasi one experience of mine back in, wait, let me check. If I'm guessing 2016 or 2017 I remember someone contacting me for a collegiate tournament sa Korea. Do you know that? Kasi I remember meron ding kinalaman yung UP LOL team dun eh. They were able to get a visa
Oh
sa
yeah.
Korea. Do you know that? You know that?
Yeah,
Were
yung
you in part
LCL
of that?
team ng
Yeah,
E-
yeah, yeah. That one, that one.
esports yan.
Yes, yes. Oblation Esports.
Yeah, we're just managers. We're just technically managers. So hindi kami, they're affiliate members technically.
Mm. Pero you weren't, hindi kayo nag-handle nun nung ano? Or, pero may ano kayo, na nakausap nyo yun? Kayo yung
Yeah.
in charge nun? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wala lang. Gusto ko lang i-share na nagkaroon tayo ng chance nun before pa. So, we got visa'd. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard of that. Visa problems, guys.
yes, visa problems.
That's what
Visa,
them,
the enemy of
the real
Philippine
enemy, the
esports.
esports scene. But yeah, Mimi right there. All about them planning. She's always been passionate, and hopefully, guys, one day her dreams will come true. But she's been splashing around in the Overwatch scene, especially internationally. She's been making a few connections as well. So that's what Mimi's been up to. So let's move on to our third and final candidate again, Mr. Shock Result. What have you done for the PH Overwatch community?
Well, besides, well, you guys know about Heroes of Rising, right? The big like well,
That's the
we'll see like
Predator
it's
booth,
like
di ba?
the
Yeah.
Predator sponsored event. It's like technically one of the biggest tournament locally. Well, it was executed mostly online. Then the final stages is mostly on lands. Being one of the staff members during that event for Overrush, and mostly I do photo documentations for our meetups and our tournaments before. Well, recently I kind of laid low with doing photography for the scene, but yeah, the scene is quite chill at the moment. Uh, for but and during our downtime, mostly tagabantay lang talaga sa sa Overrush and sa Overwatch na scene. You will see what will happen, what kind of events will come out, what kind of events will spark interest, and mostly over the years of playing and being in the scene, my main goal is bringing more outsiders to be interested in the game, to be involved in the game. My biggest example for an outsider being involved in the game is who's the host here. It's Dax. Dax before is well, my kwento yun eh. Dax is like
What's this kwento?
outsider before.
Okay, you can speak
Well,
Tagalog if
before
you
and
want.
yeah. Dati kasi nung Heroes Uprising, Migs Lopez, one of the casters before the Overrush, he invited Dax to well, invited lang to spectate our tournament. And eventually Dax got the chance to be one of our casters. Like tayo lang yung mag-cast for a game, 1 or 2 games, and see how it goes. And Dax ended up like being in a marathon of sa mga games namin.
Marathon,
So it's
easy.
yeah. The, those are quite memorable land events that happened before on our scene. Tsaka ayun, rather than bringing outsider, we want to make sure na people who are playing the game are okay with one another. Their approach are good with one another. They they are aware of the next events that are coming out. They're aware of the well, besides international events, they need to be more involved in their community
Yeah.
locally. Yeah.
So without Shock Rizal, we wouldn't have any Dax
No,
pods
no. Okay,
tonight.
okay, 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 okay,
So,
okay. Let me fix the story up because I am the key witness because I am the heart of this story. So Shock played a vital role. He was the second step, but he was not the first, nor was it Migs. So the first step, guys, of my casting career was Mr. Contenders himself, Grandis Otto, inviting me to Rekt
Mm.
Esports to view, to watch him play Overwatch. And I'm like, why the hell would I do that? What am I gonna do there? Well, I still went because it was just in Katipunan. And then he was like, oh, I'm gonna play now. And like, what the fuck do I do? It's like, why don't you go cast? And then he pushed me to where Shock was, and Shock was solo casting because Biggs wasn't there yet, and I ended up
Yeah.
casting with Shock in Filipino. It was the worst experience ever casting in Filipino, and then Migs showed up, and Migs liked what he saw, and then he got me for the casting partner for the day, and then they invited me for the next week, and the rest of it is history. So yeah, that's the story. Morning Glory, that's the show, that's the thing. So yeah, Mr. Shock Rizal really showing that he has these roots. That's what he's done for the community. It has been a long time ago, but he's looking
Yeah.
for another opportunity now to come on back. So really good responses there, Mr. Fascinate, for our first question. What do you think?
um it's nice na like they have really yun nga, they have different backgrounds. Yumi being on the side of like yung face ng esports in general, like or not in yeah, maybe in general kasi like I think naman 'di ba alam na since alam naman ng mga tao what your work is right now, 'di ba? Like yun nga yung side na yun and streaming as well kasi that can also be considered as ano um like a part of advertising in a way. So at least you know may idea ka dun sa area na yun. Mimimu has it's really great na she has here's an image sa international scene which is really important especially in the Overwatch World Cup since this is an international event. Um she can pull out like different connections so we can get help especially sa visa kasi this is the most important thing kasi kahit anong gawin natin dito if you don't get visas hindi tayo makakalipad
True,
like
true, true.
ever. Yun yung pinakakalaban ng Philippine esports right now especially sa mga teams na walang backup, walang sponsors na big time like unlike Mineski Globe, Signal Ultra Smart, tama ba? Am I
Yeah.
saying things right? I'm not sure. Basta yung mga sponsors na yung
Oh,
big time,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they have like really good backup na ano can get things done. And then kay
Okay.
Shock Rizal naman like yung immersed sa Overrush itself, yung nag gumagawa ng mga content for ano or yung mga most content na nakikita natin sa Overwatch Philippines that I know of.
Yeah, yeah.
Tapos actually in introducing Daks rin, 'di ba? That's the most important thing.
I showed up. Okay, I showed up myself. I
Pero
actually woke up that day. But yeah, I
pero
like.
you
Yeah, you
know,
go.
he's
Go.
immersed dun sa community. He helped build up the community and that's one important thing as a communication what do you call this
Community
uh,
lead.
community lead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Mr. Fascinate, making some good points, but I liked how you mentioned something there. It's all about that image, and with the community lead, you are the image, you are the face, you are the body, the soul,
That's
you're pretty
true.
much everything to the community. So this is our next question to the community leads. What forms of media would you focus on and create for the team's image? We'll start things off with Yumi again. Yumi, what you gonna do when you are our rep?
So, we all know that Filipinos are avid users of social media. So, I plan to use my social media channels and Facebook groups to promote the team. We could even make a central page for the team that posts all of their updates to inform everybody. So, like what I said a while ago, like live updates, mga behind the scenes, so we can do that. And as for their image naman, I want to show everyone that our Overwatch community is a very welcoming one. So we're tight knit and like a family. And because of that, I want to focus on showing everyone that the Overwatch team that represents the Philippines will uphold these values of being responsible and respectable members of the community. So parang hindi toxic and all that. And of course, I'll also need the rest of the community's help to do this kasi I can't do it alone, di ba? So, and together, I believe we can show everyone naman that Overwatch is a great game with a great community from the Philippines and of course yung team natin where everyone is welcome and we can all have fun regardless of our like background or skill levels. Yun.
I like
That's
it.
my plan.
I like it. I like it. Social media is the way to go. Passing the ball. Let's
Yep.
go into Mimi Moo. What you gonna do? Where to focus and create for the team's image?
Okay. So yung social media, yung plan ko is to focus on three main platforms, which would be Twitter, Discord, which yung Discord is gonna be open to international din sana because last year I joined the one for Thailand, and it was cool to be able to interact with other people and get to know their team then. So I feel like it would be good to open it up to other people. And then lastly, syempre, since we're in the Philippines, kailangan may Facebook. And then for the team, for the team's promotion, so gusto ko sana mag-contact ng local journalists and writers to be able to publish more stuff about Overwatch as a game and the community. So it, and working with the general manager sana, I want to be able to develop a community folder and deck for Overwatch. And then so for the storyline lang naman, how to sell the team, I think we would focus on um, how the Philippines is an underdog, how established the event actually is, since 3 years na siya ongoing. So it would be nice to have that storyline na underdogs tayo, but uh, we shouldn't be underestimated. And syempre that would kailangan panindigan yun ng whoever's gonna be the coach, so ni Dax. So yun lang.
Yeah. Okay. So I like it. I like it to make a narrative. We started from the bottom, guys, and now we here. So let's make that dream come true. Let's pass the ball again, Mr. Shock Rizal. Hot potatoes on your corner. What you gonna do? What forms of media would focus on and create for the team's image?
For the Philippine scene, we're quite active naman sa sa Facebook side. Well, and also in Twitter, but mostly in Facebook talaga when it comes to the esports side at the moment. So, yun muna yung focus natin na media. Let's see, may mga foundations na sa mga for sa Philippine scene. So, see if I can connect people around involved, especially Pinoy Gamer. Pinoy Gamer is one of the biggest, well, let's see, gaming communities who are also involved in this, and with Stolly, who are also active on their content if they can get involved to our scene, most likely. And sa team, well, we have uh, who are gonna join on our Philippine team. Mostly they're active who are now currently doing other stuff like work, school, mostly taking a break on Overwatch.
Okay,
Um,
okay. It's just a shock. Are you okay?
uh,
So, okay. Let me cut you off real quick. Just a quick little summary of what he's pretty much said. Basically, bring in the content creators, everyone who's been working on the scene. Let them do what they do best. Work it with the community, with the community lead. And so far, that's what Shock has. I know it's been a little shocking that his voice is quite electric. Mr. Shock Rizal, do you have anything else to say? Hopefully, you have fixed the static shockness of your voice.
thing.
Okay,
Is my
okay.
voice okay?
A little. You can
A
try.
little.
You can try. You can try.
Try. Sige. Yeah, mostly ganun. Community coordination and weighing up the players who are gonna join the leagues of Overwatch World Cup. Gotta get the best to perform the best, right?
Yeah,
Yep, that's true.
exactly. That's true. That's true. So this fascinates. Which which one? Where you gonna be going for the like, shares, and subscribes most? What you got? What you think? What you think about their plans?
Um, I like how there's like different options for attack. Wow, attack. Okay,
Oh,
like
wow!
for
Plus attack.
example, oh. Wait,
Oh.
wait. That's a
That's a
we're
hard
going.
foul. That's
Yes,
a
that's
hard foul.
we're going off a different direction there. But
That's a
yeah. Pero there. Yumi and I think Shakren going for the Facebook route, which is probably I think arguably the easiest platform for Filipinos, di ba? Kasi it's a lot of Filipinos use Facebook. So there's dun yung option nila, and with Mimi Moo naman is yeah, focusing on international scene on Discord, international Discord channels, and even local journalists. So that's kind of a unique route kasi since Overwatch isn't really that mainstream here in the Philippines, journalists being helped by journalists would really benefit us. I think in broadcasting this Overwatch and our campaign to be able to actually uh, go there, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree. Press is press, good press,
yes,
and
good press.
mainstream
Yes,
press, very good. Might actually make me want to write articles again. But yeah, these guys, social media is the way to go for so many aspects. You can go different routes. You can do it yourself. You can really be the head. You can delegate. You can give it to other people, or you can go from the in out push pull international to the domestic. So yeah, guys, just moving on. We're gonna be moving on to our next question, and this one might hit home for a bunch of people, especially because it's fascinating when you hear a Pinoy, like Pinoy. What do you think first and foremost?
come on, we're not. Who are we kidding here, dude?
Oh no, that's a
If like, especially in the sea, dude, in Dota scenes, whatever international scene, if you hear a P noise, you're almost always gonna like imagine some like keyboard warrior type of guy na playing in Pisonets or whatever. Diba?
yeah.
That's kasi hard to
Hard to get rid of it.
accept.
It's a stigma.
Yeah, it's a stigma kasi that's how international, at least in C pala, at least in C, um yun yung tingin sa atin eh.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's the community leads um like role to get rid of that stigma, especially in Overwatch. Kasi I feel like um in my opinion, or at least in the circle of the community I'm in, I don't think we're like that. I definitely do not think we're like that. We're a different kind of players. Although syempre may toxicity pa rin. We can't avoid that. Come on. Every one of us is toxic. Uh believe it or not. We're
uh-huh.
kind of toxic in different ways.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
That's for sure.
the question is like like how would you ano 'di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
How would you change that
Yeah,
image?
there we
How
go.
would you like yeah, definitely.
Let's push that boulder down the hill. Question
Yes.
is, how will you handle toxicity throughout the community? This does not just not include, community versus community, people fighting, but also on attacks, call out posts against the team,
Yes.
that kind of deal, protecting the image. That is what we're looking for from this question. Let's start things off. Canon candidate, letter A, Miss Yumi, what you got for us?
Okay, so yeah, I will do my best to encourage positive discussions among the community. Like, I believe by setting the right example, I can encourage others in the community to also maintain a positive output. Like, in cases wherein the team gets called out and attacked, I think I will try to encourage these people to engage in more positive discourse, and that we can always say things better. Kasi, diba, like, oftentimes it isn't really about the message, but like how you present it that counts. So I don't believe we should stoop down to their level in arguing pointlessly, because that will just eventually grow into more negativity. So yeah, and then this isn't to say that negative things or criticism naman should be ignored, diba? Like, we have to take it in then, and then like transform it, and maybe to improve ourselves then. And yeah, I just believe that we should deal with these problems with a positive outlook and in a calm, rational way, so we can foster more goodwill. So yeah.
I love it. Just get in deep, get in the roots, and just strike it at the core. Mimi, what do you say? How will you handle toxicity throughout the community?
It's hard to be able to like present yourself differently given the already stereotypical Pinoy gamer. Pero I think Overwatch is a different game that doesn't foster as much negativity as it used to before, especially since the setup ng endorsement system, which was positive. So I feel like we could make a similar sort of endorsement thingy to the people reacting to our posts. Kasi I've also worked with my friends who manage the social media accounts of certain brands ng esports hardware, and yung comments pa lang is very hard. So I don't think naman na our own uh audience would have that kind of toxicity entering it. And if ever magkaroon ng call out posts because prevalent nga yung call out culture ngayon, I think easily settleable naman yung mga yan with a proper statement and proper recourse of action sa people, and that if you show it properly, mawawala din naman yung toxic view of people to your players and team.
I feel like sometimes toxicity can just be a professional comment gone wrong or taken the other way. And
Definitely,
I like
definitely.
how Mimi is gonna tackle that. You know, we have to separate the wheat from the chaff, trolls from the people who are truly concerned. And I think that's a great answer. Shock result, what you got for us?
In our observation on our Overwatch scene, the most surprisingly thing to observe here is mostly the toxicity happens in game, not on our not on our groups, not on our content, not on our discussions, public discussions, but mostly in game talaga. So, as the way to deal with this, if ever issues like this ever spark, we let them argue up to the point na it's it gets personal. We stop when it gets personal talaga. When they talking about the issue on over their discussions in our Overwatch scene, the the more they tackle the issue, the better. Because doon maayos talaga eh. Kasi nandun yung problema eh. In typical Filipino arguments, if mostly if they go personal, that's the bad move. If that's where the toxicity would spread. Having an approach of professionalism and sportsmanship talaga. Yeah, it could be well respected sa community talaga.
Oh,
That's all.
okay. Yeah, well, it's very simple answers, Mr. Fascinates. What I'm really just looking for from these candidates is if they're actually gonna do something about it, because they're gonna be the face, they're gonna be our representative, and especially for the players, especially for the coach, GM, that kind of deal, they should be focusing on other things. They shouldn't have to be arguing with people randomly online, that kind of deal. What do you think? What do you think about their solutions?
Um, as for Yumi, it's really nice to be a bit more. What's the term for this? More personal, I guess. Na you integrate yourself, you immerse yourself dun sa like so if there's a call out post, like you immerse yourself in that post directly. And then for Mimi, it's like what do you call this? How do you put that? Like business minded, like
Very
protecting the image.
professional.
Yeah, professional. How you protect the yung ano mismo, yung team, which is both is okay naman. Like it both answers. Pati yung kay Shakri na ano, yung you answer like yung what do you call this? Yung pagiging you just let them discourse yung problems and take over yung if it goes personal, di ba? I think that's how he said it. Correct me if I'm wrong. All this like a good solution naman. It all comes down to like how like yung personal opinion mo and dealing with these kind of
Situations.
yeah, situations.
I like fascinating. Just trying to put it this way, guys. It's all about how you're gonna be dealing with this in the
Yeah,
future.
they're technically damage control.
Yeah,
Yes.
damage control, especially having to keep a cool, calm head. You're
Yes.
representing not only a brand but the whole country. So you gotta clean it up. For many people, like, come on, if you have an argument, you never use your professional page. You have an image to protect. More of personal, if ever. But at the same time, sometimes it's just good to shrug it off. Sometimes it's just good to stop caring, let people be who they are, and just do your best. But of course, these criticisms, how toxic or not, or just basic toxicity, do have to be kept in check. You have to, nip it at the bud. You can't let root rot bring shape to the community. But yeah, man, So community, old and new. We've got so many people who have moved on from Overwatch. Very very great players. Many people who would are on the fence like can come back, cannot, whatever, whenever, that kind of deal. So our next question to our candidates is: do you plan on rekindling interest with older players from the Overwatch community? Mr. Fastnate should have a little bit to say about that, especially coming in from a legacy team. So, Mr. Fastnate, would you like to see older players from the Overwatch community come back?
Definitely. I would love to like bring back old players, rekindle uh their hearts to playing Overwatch again competitively, not just like casually. Kasi um as much as possible, I want to put Overwatch esports like back into like its days in 2016. Kasi I feel like 2016, 2017 was
Probably the
the
glory days.
no glory days of Overwatch Philippines. We were getting lots of headlines, especially in Mineski. Naglalabas silang articles and they were even hosting tournaments in bigger events such as what was that in yung what do you call this? Yung sa
PGF?
was that in PGF? Basta yung ano, yung tournament
Yes.
ng
It was a okay, like
basta
looking back history, there's like the
yeah,
RR
yeah.
one. There was one at the fest. I think it was PGF or something. One of the
Yeah, okay, PGF.
conventions. But yeah, basically,
Yeah,
just a
a lot of
fascinate.
there were a lot of talks about Overwatch being good. A lot of Mineski even
APCC.
had an Overwatch team.
APCC.
Yeah,
Crits
APCC.
from
Yun.
the chat giving us
Yes.
APCC. Big shouts,
Thank you,
Crits.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank
Chris.
you. So yeah, Fascinate,
Uh,
wrap it up. Let's give it
yeah.
to our community leads to answer instead. Oh, okay. Just
Hello?
decides to drink. He
Hello.
decides, I asked him to wrap it up. He's like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna
Okay.
drink. I'm just gonna
Sorry,
drink
sorry, sorry.
instead. I don't wanna answer
Pero
anymore.
yun nga, like bringing more players back again and especially new players even would be definitely be good for the overall esports of Overwatch
Yeah.
Philippines. Yun.
Yeah. As
There you
an
go.
old player, Fascinate really having something to say about that, and that's why we passed the ball to him. But now, so we want the community leads. Our community leads are more or less, you know, at a range where they have tasted maybe the glory days, but not really completely lived in it per se. Like you could say maybe they're at the decline, but first things first, Yumi, what you got for us? How do you plan on rekindling interest with older players from the Overwatch community?
Yeah, so I think it's through effective marketing. Because through effective marketing, like the old players will get to see how amazing the community is and how Overwatch is slowly becoming alive again. But yeah, not just the old players, also new players like yung potential players, diba? Makikita nila na, wow, may Overwatch pa pala. It's not dead game. Kasi usually, like, sa office, they say na, hey, Kami, Yumi, you're still playing Overwatch. It's dead. And then I'll be explaining to them that it's actually not like we're actually on the run to become a part of World Cup. So yeah. And being part of the top 24, I think in the World Cup is enough to excite them again. And with this kind of marketing effort that we're all doing, I'm pretty sure they'll feel again what they felt when they first played Overwatch, yung mga old players. And speaking of marketing. Game Pao. Are you guys familiar with Game Pao?
Mhm.
It's
Uh huh.
it's a news page. Yeah, it's a news page. It's like a huge news page. They're actually watching right now, and they just messaged me that if I become the community lead, they're gonna support our marketing for
Mm.
the team PH. So yeah, thank you, Game Pao.
Alright, dropping potential sponsors.
Dropping
Good to hear.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
proactive way to do with it. So not only bringing in the old, but also bringing in the new Game Pao. I have a few friends who are all under Game Pao. I think they're all
Yeah, under game. Yeah, I think
uh,
I'm familiar with some of their streamers as well.
yeah. I think Div is one. I think Power is one. Yumi, are you one? Are you? Is
Yeah,
she?
I
Yes,
am.
yes,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm actually a streamer of Game Pao.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
yeah,
Just the femme fatales of the scene, that kind of deal. But yeah, let's move on in. Mimi, what do you cat? Do you plan on rekindling interest with older players from the Overwatch community?
For me personally, I wouldn't invest that much effort into it because
Oh,
um Like if you just go through forums as is, like you can see where the frustration of people are coming, where they're coming from talaga with the game. And it's not like it's something that we ourselves could fix. But that doesn't mean that the game is itself dying. Because syempre there's like the bigger events like Overwatch League is definitely still a thing. So I feel like mas malaki yung potential in bringing in more people to watch, especially since Overwatch League started moving into the mainstream ren. So I feel like uh I would rather focus on pulling new people in rather than rekindling their interest kasi pag nakita naman nila na nakaabot tayo somewhere as the Philippines team, they'll grow their own interest naman. Yun lang.
Yeah, okay. So she's future looking here from Mimi. That's actually another good way to tackle the question. You can also not look back. Past is the past, history is history, and maybe it's time to move on to new frontier and work with what we've got. Finally, Shock Rizal. You plan on rekindling interested older players from the Overwatch community? I feel like that's his ballpark, Mr. Fascinate. I think that this is the question not only Shock Rizal is asking to the community, but also to himself.
That actually, that's
Yeah,
actually true.
I think this is him. This is his question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of the older players in the Overwatch community for starters. So yeah, before we usually do mostly we don't have we're not that much of a headliner in social media and the Overwatch community. Mostly we do meetings, we do meetups, and if there's an event, we're all there. So it's a wake up call for the older players and the new players to see. Well, currently right now we're mostly talking to each other online. We're mostly playing other games online. We moved on to other games also. So and seeing how the Overwatch scene grew into different professionals, different careers, different well in their current state right now. We need to find what's the middle point for bringing bringing old players back to the game and new players getting to be related to the old players because most likely the most passionate ones, the most consistent one are the ones going to be staying in the scene, and the new players who are not, they're quite new to the scene. they're it's an introduction to them of having a scene like this being joined in the Overwatch World Cup. Let's see if some of our partners, some of our sponsors are still interested on investing for the season. I know some not mentioning any companies or connection, but I know some people are still lobbying around in the Overwatch scene and seeing how we progress further on to our next event.
Yeah, right. I hear that. I hear that. So Shock, honestly, not really looking too much for the players, but more of entities, right? Entities were looking to support Overwatch. So that's also one way to go about it. Go straight for the people that can make the dream happen. So we got two of them looking back, one to integrate the community, one for sponsors, and one looking forward. I love the contrast here. I love the contrast here, Mr. Fascinates. That you as an older player might want to relive your glory days, but it might, it just might not be
It's
your
not
time
really
anymore.
about glory days. It's not really about like going back to the glory days. It's more like pulling old players back into the game is much easier, and you know them. They have a lot of potential. Especially me, I know a lot. These people have like huge tons of potential na nasayang kasi parang there's no point for them to continue Overwatch kasi parang wala ng benefits, you know. Yun na lang yung I think yung kulang, like giving them a reason to play Overwatch again, and you can secure like probably a team or two, and that could bring up back Overwatch into the forefront of like not really contenders. I mean, yeah, it could reach contenders in my opinion.
Ooh, ambition.
Especially yeah, kasi I truly believe that. Kasi we just need like yung rekindle why we need to play Overwatch again. It's not sayang. There's a lot of potential in it, and what else? And yeah, we have very we have a large room for growth.
Yeah. I think Miss Fascinates looking also where the talent is talent at, and where we can make ourselves a better place. So really, really great answers from everyone, not only from community leads, but also from co-hosts over here. But there's one question that should really just summarize everything that we've heard so far. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. Why should I vote for you? And one other reason, why shouldn't I vote for you? So we're going to be giving the floor to each of our community leads to give us one reason for each. So this is not only about picking the sub looks good, but also really acknowledging what their weakness is, what they can work on, and maybe, just maybe, the community can help them out in that endeavor. So starting things off, Yumi, why should I vote for you? And why shouldn't I?
Well, you guys should vote for me because I am immersed in the Overwatch community. I will always be a part of the community even if I become the community lead. So, para hindi mahiya yung mga tao na makipag-engage pa rin. Kasi I'm always part of the community. And why you shouldn't vote for me? Well, I guess you guys should not vote for me if you want me to play for the Philippine team. And
Whoa.
besides, they
Oof.
call me Hitscan Goddess after all, so
Wow,
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 confidence.
Hitscan goddess. Wow.
Confidence
Yes,
is
confidence
key.
is key.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
I've heard of people say that. Like I've heard a few community members like, why would I run and I can play? You know, the certain animals, certain chubby cheeks, that kind of deal. But yeah, okay, that's one way to look at it. Yumi bringing the confidence, really feeling that
thank you,
she
thank you.
should be in this position. Good answer, good answer. Now move on to Mimi. Mimi, why should I vote for you, and why shouldn't I vote for you?
Why should you? I'm prepared and competent enough to fulfill the tasks required to be a community lead. And why shouldn't you? Um, I'm not that much of a prominent individual. So if you want someone with more personality leading the way, then I don't think that's me. Pero personally kasi I work better in a team-based environment going one-on-one with people. So I feel like it's less I if I was the community lead, it would be less of having a figurehead per se rather than someone I don't know the exact like
I get you.
term for
I'm
it.
Yeah, yeah, we get
I
you.
can
Don't
feel
worry.
what
Yeah,
you're trying to say.
definitely,
It
definitely.
really goes to show, it's about personality sometimes. Some people are very willing and very passionate about things, but they don't really have the most extroverted personality. I could say I'm like that. It's like when it's other things I could barely care about it, that kind of deal. You can see where my passion is when the bugs, tournaments, that kind of stuff.
Hello, hello.
But yeah, you're here.
Okay,
But
okay.
do I play? That's the real question. Do I play Overwatch enough? Not real. Not the same way
Questionable.
as I used to do. Not the same way. Back then, grind to GM was real.
Yes, you
That
did.
was the thing, and that happened. But
But
you
you're
know,
a washed up now. Yeah.
you're washed up too. But yeah,
Yes, I know.
it's the same. It really goes to show that sometimes there's something that happens, or just how you are wired. So it really goes to show, guys. Mimi working on the profession, working on about making things happen, rather than being a figure, rather than being, being larger in life, that kind of deal. And I commend that. I can relate, and I like it. So one last shock result. Why should I vote for you, and why shouldn't I vote for you?
Well, veteran experience from the grassroots. Yes, mostly we've seen a lot on the Overwatch scene. We go on rough times, we go on very quiet times recently. Well, this is one of the our one of way to wake up the scene is we have well more representatives in the scene to be part of the Overwatch World Cup. And the reason why they shouldn't vote for me is it's up to the community themselves. If it's their time to shine, yeah, there are others. who are more worth it to serve as a committee. Well, in the end, pa rin naman, tayo-tayo lang naman din mag-support sa isa't isa lang din. Well, we're the same usual people who are in this community together. So, yeah, that is all.
Yeah. Okay. So shock really just appealing to the personal. It's like if you vote for me, you vote for me. This is what I can bring to the table. If you shouldn't vote for me, if you don't vote for me, then it's okay. I understand. It's it's how it is. I really just want to do my best. I wanna make this something possible, and even if I don't get voted, I'll show up for it, right? I will really help out because this is where my passion is. Has always been my home. That kind of deal. That's what I'm getting. Country roads, man. Take me home to the
Yeah.
place where I belong. You're muted
The most
again.
important thing
There
is
you go.
the whether you get picked or not. As long as you do your best, everything will work out. As long as we're one community, chosen or not, we should help each other. We should pull each other up and bring Overwatch Philippines to the forefront, to the mainstream.
Yeah, so that's good stuff. I hope these questions that have been answered by our community leads will really help you guys with knowing them more, trying to figure out who you're gonna vote for. And me and Fascinate felt that these were the questions of very, very important to be asked right now because these are key topics that you probably have thought of generically. So speaking of that, speaking of what you guys have thought of, we're gonna move on to our next segment, and it is gonna be about the questions you have asked. These we have filtered through the questions during the thing, of course. We're like, if we heard the answer before, we're not gonna ask them. We'll probably take 1 to 2 questions from the pre enrollment one, and 1 to 2 from the audience. So that's probably from the mods. We'll see that one out. Rebirth and Dodge this will send us a list, and I'll pick which one is the most intriguing. So, Mr. Fascinates, just
Yes.
what are your thoughts about their answers as I bring up our first question from the audience?
Which question? Sorry.
No,
Lahat.
like overall, just
Okay.
give us the classic Fascinate summary.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Kasi ano it all comes down to personal preference. I'm not gonna give like this answer is better. This kasi all of us we have each individual preference on what do you think is better, what is this, what is that. They all gave really good answers. They were able to answer the questions, even though like yung mga controversial questions, like yung callouts, kasi kahit small community lang tayo, nangyayari pa rin whether we like it or not. It's happening. And really good answers, actually, how we handle, and different approaches. Even that's the most important thing. um Different approaches, different options, more options for people to look at, and to help in their pick of whoever is worthy of the community lead position.
Yeah. Okay. So sounds good, Mr. Fascinates. I like that. So I'm looking for some questions right now, and there's one that's very specifically. I like this. So we've made the Google form have specifications for questions. So this one is directed to Mr. Shock Rizal. So Shock, the floor is on you.
What's
Let
up?
me hit you up. Shock result. I realize you do a lot of PR events, etc. You even an admin of a Smash Bros. PH and on other pages. Now it's good you have a lot of experience, but how are you able to handle or juggle all your hobbies events while being also the community lead for Overwatch? This would require more time committed from having so many events being admin various groups. How can you manage your time? Before you answer, this is actually a very good question to everyone. We'll start things off with Shock, because this one is directed to him, and we'll ask just a little bit from both Yumi and Mimi on their IRL situations for their answers as well. Yeah,
Well,
go.
it's really comes down to proper impl- proper implementation, proper planning, and I guess proper scheduling to be exact. Well, to be fair and kind of lucky that I get to handle Overwatch I get to cover Overwatch events and also Smash Bros. PH events also. The good thing about this is they don't collide with each other. Like, oh, there's an event here, but this event's gonna happen for the next week, and the other event is for the following week. I'm just really glad that both scenes are getting to not coincide with one another and have these kinds of conflicts for the different scenes. Magkaibang scene kasi sila eh. Mostly Overwatch happening online, and in the Smash Bros. PH scene, it's mostly happening on LAN events. So getting to it to a personal level really boils down on what is more of a priority event, what is the main event, and what how can I schedule properly up for covering these upcoming events.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Mr. Shock, we'll see how you're gonna be able to manage that. He's just saying though, there are two distinct worlds, and we'll probably figure that one out. It's all about managing your time management, juggling your tasks and priorities, and since they're in two different fields anyway, can just oops, that's unfortunate. But yeah, let's go to Miss Yumi. Yumi, what do you got for us? Basically, the question boils down to with everything that's going on in your life, hobbies, events, work, that kind of deal, how will you be able to handle being a community lead for Overwatch?
Well, actually, since I'm new to my work in Brand Pro, well, they're actually really supportive with me running to become the community lead. And every week they send me to different places, like in different regions for events. And I think I can handle naman na if ever na sumabay sa World Cup. I think I can handle it since they're very supportive. Like they already asked me if what will happen if I become the community lead, and I'm like, okay, these are the possibilities, and they're like, oh, cool, cool. So will the Philippine team become a team PH only, or like we can sponsor or whatever or something like that? So yeah, I think they're gonna be really understanding and they're really supportive.
Yeah. Okay. So you means like my work still correlates how what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel like these guys will be able to help the World Cup ambition come true, and that's really one good way to
That's
look about it.
very actually, yeah. That's
It's
very
it's two birds, one stone.
yes. Actually, that's her work is actually pretty. I should say like very what do you call it? How do we put
It's
this?
related. There you go.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
related kasi ano, and actually willing to help pa nga eh for
Three
ano.
in one plus one.
Yeah,
Well,
Copy one.
it's not confirmed, but
Yeah.
we're
oh,
still
okay.
talking.
It's
Pero
Yeah,
at
still
least it's
explaining
there.
and maybe
it's
like kikilitiin ko pa and all that.
it's a pathway. It's a runway
Yeah,
right
it's a
there.
pathway. It's one of
It's
the if one of your options if you're going to be the community lead, that's a really good option. And putting it out there, at least may idea tayo na ano na you have that kind of reach. So
Connections,
yeah, I
yeah.
think
yeah. Okay. So you mean again TLDR work really helps us. Okay. There you go. That's it. Mimi. So what's the question like? Oh yeah. So question is with all your responsibilities, hobbies, groups, and the like, how will you be able to juggle being a community lead for Team PH?
Right now, kakagrad ko lang. So I'm taking a gap year while waiting to pursue masters. So I'm really free. I'm free to pursue my hobbies and interests, including Overwatch. So I've just been playing a lot of Overwatch. So no conflict at all for me.
Okay, sounds good. No problem whatsoever. That's the best way to go about it. And that
definitely.
really is something you can say. If you're younger, if you don't really have that many responsibilities and you want to tackle something like this, you can dedicate all your time to it. So yeah, we didn't really show up the question because we changed it a little bit for every person, but in the end, I hope that answers the pre-registration. We got a few more questions here from pre-reg, but I feel like we answered that about handling community, what makes them unique, basically why you should vote for them and not. So we'll move on to the live ones. We have two really good ones sent in by Mr. Rebirths. The first one, from Udaza. We'll start with it. What drives you? What drives you in Overwatch? Basically, I'll put it down real quick as a very simple question. Why Overwatch? There you go. Floor is all yours to Miss Yumi. She can start as off. Yumi, why bother with Overwatch?
Why Overwatch?
Yeah.
Well,
Why?
I guess it's the game that I actually improved since I played a lot of games like League, AOV, Crossfire, and SF. And I just feel like that I kind of sucked at all those games. Like I'm kind of like mediocre. So and I'm like and I feel like in Overwatch, I just found myself. Like I just love Overwatch. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So falling in love, always a sweet, sweet experience. Mimi, how about you? Why Overwatch?
Sort of like the same story na I felt like I sucked in so many other games, especially FPS. But then with Overwatch, it felt like I was finally good at a game, and I feel like it has that same potential with so many people who struggle with FPS because it's very different. It's very colorful. It's very bright. It has different mechanics. So I feel like it's a game that has something for everyone.
Yeah. So accessibility, allowing everyone a chance to play different aspects, different things. You can be an angel. You can be a froggy frog. You can be a big burly giant German man. You can
Or you
also
can
be
pick Brig and be a tank, main
be
healer,
a best
DPS, top
player
laner,
of the game. Play
position
Brigitte.
one,
Yeah, position everything.
jungler, mid laner,
ADC. No.
goalkeeper.
Okay,
Yes,
nice one. Fascinate. Very, very on
very,
topic.
very, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, guys, everyone and anyone can play Overwatch. There's something different strokes for different folks, but apparently Overwatch has all those strokes. So last one, Shock. Why Overwatch?
I guess I'm gonna answer that. I just grew with this community since the start. So yeah. Besides Overwatch being a great game, having one of the best esports game out there, and having one of well constantly releasing new content for the players who are still active. I guess it's also because of the community. Like it's like halos kalahati nga ng friend list ko sa Facebook hindi ano eh. Galing Overwatch yata eh. So ayun. It's more of like how we just grew together as a community there.
Okay, so personal connections there from Mr. Shock Rizal. I could honestly say, like, if I just ditch Overwatch randomly out of the blue, it's a big, still big hit in terms of my circles. That kind of deal. I really have been invested with the community. Same as Fascinate. Honestly, I'd say same as Yumi Bumi and also Shock, who has brought it out. So good question there from Udaza. Why Overwatch? Why Overwatch indeed? I think I ask myself that question every single time I wake up and decide to say lobby up. It's like, bakit pa? Why do we still do this? But then even memes, dreams, how people show up, how people make it fun, even if it lasts 8.5 hours, that's no problem whatsoever, because that's how we work. So it fascinates. Why Overwatch for you? As I rifle for that last question from the audience.
For me, it's just like love of the game. Um, it's like I've been a league player. I've played it competitively for like 6 years, I think. And over the time, it like uh, I how do I put this? The love for the game slowly declined over the years. Tapos Overwatch came. I actually played it on beta pa lang, and I just my first game, even just watching the first trailer, or basta anything really Overwatch related, it got me like, oh, I think I have my new next thing. Na when it comes up, I'm gonna play it like 24/7. I'm gonna give my time into it. Basically, and then just grew from there. Like it never declined to me. Even I guess it has its ups and downs. Because there are, yeah, there are things that we didn't, or I didn't like, at least in my opinion, in regarding to the esports side of Overwatch, and how Blizzard handled that. Pero that didn't really stop me from striving to be a better player. and actually right now I've never been more um what do you call this, pumped to be better in what I do. So it's just love for the game, bro. Bro.
I kind of want to cry now. Fascinates. The heart, the heart is there. It really good show. It really shows, guys, that this man has really invested so much being a player for Overwatch, that kind of deal. And it's good to hear that all the community lead candidates have this connection to the game, why it matters to them, from not only just being a video game, but also being part of their lives, their friends, their relationships, and just finding a common ground with anyone else. So yeah, good morale over there. So let's move on to our last question. Speaking about morale, guys, for all the community leads, how do you guys plan to manage your country's morale if you, Team PH, doesn't do as well as you hope? This one's from Calderan. I'll save my answer for that one later on. So start things off with Yumi. See, Yumi. Hello. Hello, Yumi.
Hello, Yumi.
Hello, Yumi.
Repeat the question. Hello, Yumi.
I said, how do you guys plan? How does the community leaders plan to manage the country's morale if Team PH doesn't do as well as we expect? That kind of deal. Okay, you good?
It's okay.
Hello?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Hello? There you go.
Well, if we don't do good, I guess we can just like try again next time. There's always next time. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the World Cup. Like, hindi naman to yung last World Cup. We can always try and try and try and try. Like, ilang beses na ba tayo nagtatry, di ba? And we never give up. So,
Yeah.
yun.
Never give up. Never
Never
surrender.
give up.
Never
Surrender.
surrender. Dude, the great John Cena once said, never give up. Toot, 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 toot. Yeah, there you go. That's your wrestling reference for the day. So now, Mimi, same question. How do you plan on managing the country's morale?
I feel like, ano lang, go lang, keep cheering them on. Kasi the same thing actually happened to Team Thailand last year. Eh, tapos home court pa nila. And they only won their last game. So I feel like as long as you have the people supporting them all throughout and cheering for them, okay, magiging okay lang din lahat.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
make it work. Kaya yan, guys. Push lang. Push lang natin yan. Kakayanin
Yes.
yan. At kung hindi, andun lang kami. I like that. I like that.
Carry bells.
Larry Bell's blanket of security. Shock. Same question. Morale, what you gonna do about it?
To observe to see the Overwatch Philippine scene. I think we're compared to the other scenes like the Southeast Asia scene, USA, Europe. I think our scene is like the one of the unnoticed scenes to be exact. Well, there's nowhere else to go but up. I mean, if we're gonna start small. I think up to this now, up till now, we're still kind of as counted as a small scene compared to other countries. And let's see what's our potential before what how long
Yeah.
things are gonna be in over nowhere to go but
Shock. Man, my morale for your mic though. My morale for your mic, man. Just getting so electric from him.
sorry.
But yeah, it's just about managing expectations. I think what he's trying to say is we're coming in as an underdog, right? We're coming in from a lower seed, that kind of lower position. We didn't do so hot on the first try, so maybe, maybe we'll do better, and hopefully we're gonna be all there to support it. So I love these answers from our community leads. That does wrap up our Q&A with them. I do just wanna, I wanna answer this question. Well, guys, again, remember, we have not made it to the World Cup during qualies. This is our one of our only opportunities right now since it's more open, and we are trying our best to make it happen. So all I want to say is curb your expectations, and if we get glory, if we get a W on the prelim stage, make it to the BlizzCon stage. I think we can just already be proud of our small scene making that one happen. At the same time has been an experience with the community, that kind of deal, and hopefully this whole thing, Team PH World Cup, taking it seriously, fixing up a summit for everyone to talk to, making the votes really matter. It helps people just figure out that this is not a joke. This is something that we should be proud of, something we can make happen, and make it better into the future years. So yeah, morale. We should just be happy that it's happening, especially if it happens. Like, I feel like everyone's just enjoying it right now that we're doing this. Like, out of nowhere, hey guys, let's make a podcast. I don't usually do podcasts, but let's do it. That kind of deal. That
And
pretty
you're
much wrap.
doing
Yeah,
great, Mr.
dude,
Dax.
we
You're
wrap up our
doing
Q
you're
and
doing
A.
fantastic.
We'll open the floor to all three community leads. We'll do a quick little open forum, any kind of discussions to just cool down, wrap up, and we'll take a very short break. I think I want to maybe restart the show, figure it out, and we'll move into our general managers by around 7:35 to 7:40. This does mean though that pugs are gonna be moved to 9 because we are taking a while, but I really don't want to cut off these quality answers from our community leads, and I can't wait for the knowledge the general managers will drop later on. So yeah, guys, Yumi, Mimi, Shop, anyone can talk at any time. You guys, whatever you want to talk about, just whip it up. We'll just do a quick little cool down, and yeah, we'll end it off on a high note in just a bit. Okay.
Oh, it's open for na ba? Wait.
Yes, so
Anything.
I don't know. Kamusta na kayo? Ayun
Oh,
lang.
I'm fine. Thank
I'm
you.
fine. I'm
I
fine
think-
as well. Thanks for asking.
I'm
We're doing
doing
great.
I'm doing good, man. I hope everyone's doing
None
good.
lang. Thank you, Dax, for holding this podcast.
Yeah.
Stream dapat with cameras, pero naging podcast na lang.
Okay.
I feel like it's also a good initiative on your part. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. I mean, it's pretty last minute, and that's was like, okay, I hope this can actually happen. That kind of deal. Hopefully, we can
Yes.
make it work. But
Dax PH is a blessing for
oh my
Overwatch
god,
Philippines
oh my
community.
god,
Poggers
no,
in the chat,
no,
boys.
no, no,
Poggers
guys,
in the chat.
boys and girls, please don't make it about me right now. Let's if like I really want to give the floor to our candidates because not only are at least they're having a real election, that kind of deal, but at the same time we're giving this summit for them to really show their stuff, to really move into the forefront, that kind of deal. I mean, you can just show up here if you want me, that kind of deal. It's all about them right now. It's all about trying to see who's going to be our best community lead, and at the same time, the whoever does lose in this kind of election, I really hope that they learn something from it, and at the same, and also just to be somewhere at the front of the community, someone to look up to, that kind of deal. Yeah.
I'm surprised nga na konti lang tumakbo sa atin compared sa other scene. It's like, sa atin talagang it's a really big deal. Like, oh, may kwento yun, parang, am I gonna join or not? Parang may hesitation pa sa mga ibang players din kung if they want to join as a committee or what.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a small scene, and I'm glad people have been supporting all these endeavors. So Yumi, Mimi, you guys got anything to say before we sign off for the community leads?
Sino ba muna?
Any. Kaya nga open
This is
forum.
any. This is open
Kahit
forum.
magsabay-sabay na tayo sa
Okay.
usapan, okay lang.
Ladies first naman.
Nauna ka na nga,
Okay,
diba?
gentleman, yeah.
Nauna ka na nga eh.
Actually.
Ay, si Yumi na lang muna. Then,
Well, sobrang nakakatuwa na yung community parang nagpa-participate talaga for this World Cup. And yeah, sobrang nakaka-excite. And that's why, nag-run. Kasi last year pa actually nag-post ako before na we can do this, we can enter the World Cup. And then parang, hindi pwede. Naalala niyo ba yun?
I think I remember.
Yung
last
vote
year kasi there was
something ba
the
to?
no last year kasi
Yeah,
there's the
parang
SR.
iba.
Last year kasi
Yeah.
iba yung ano eh.
Yeah, iba.
yung,
And this year I was like, the first thing I saw it was like, I'm really gonna. It's like, it's
I know.
open, but
Parang
at the
sinasabi mo na, it's open, but may chance pa tayo. Tapos now, we were able to get to phase 2 actually. and,
I just wanted to throw the first one. I was like, So you know what, if this is gonna happen, oh here, this is the I think parang this is the treat on the stick. If anyone wants to get it, let's go for it. That's it.
Mhm.
You guys showed up, and that's really really cool about it. Just making it happen. Hopefully it does happen.
Yeah.
But the whole point is this thing right now is happening. It's really really cool. But yeah, Mimi, what you got for us? And we should sign off. We'll take a little break. I do need to reset the stream. Also gonna be good for the VOD to cut the parts into two. And yeah, because the server has been a little iffy in the stream so far. Mimi, what you got for us before we sign off?
Having attended the World Cup last year, sobrang na-excite ako for the possibility that Philippines can also join. Yun nga, since naging open format siya, nakita ko na, oh, baka kaya natin. And like, I feel like kaya talaga natin. Woo! So go Philippines.
Go Philippines indeed. So I think that's about it for the first part of our summit. It has gone overtime. I honestly, in my heart, like, okay, this is gonna go overtime, that's for sure. So we'll take a short little break, fix up a few technical aspects, and we'll get our general managers in. This has been Yumi, Mimimu, and Shock Result for your community leads. You guys might be able to vote a little better for that one. And next off, we are gonna have Power of Love, we got Momoring, and we got Nilovaril. You know, it's a hard name. I keep messing that one up. So we'll see you guys in just a bit if the stream goes down just a little bit. Just stay tuned because we'll be right back. Yumi Mimi Mumu Shock Result. Please say one last goodbye to our audience as we move to our next segment.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning
Thank you for
in.
dropping.
Thank you. Bye.
Kita-kits na lang online.
Yeah.
Big shout outs there from our community leads. And yeah, we'll be right back.